What's up everyone, and welcome to this video which is called 2019 Reflection and Preparing for 2020. So today is December 29th, meaning it's the end of 2019, and something that I really want to do is just reflect on the entire year and do this together. I'm gonna tell about my experience, and then I also have questions that we're gonna answer together, so I want a lot of back and forth, particularly in the in the comment section. So I think this is something that I wish that I've done in the past. This is the first time where I'm really making a video reflecting on the entire year. I just think it's really good to look back on a year and really talk about or be aware of the things that worked, the things that didn't work, the mistakes you made, the things that you don't want to do again because you learn from them. So that's really what I want to do in this video. Now, I prepared these 6 questions that we are going to answer together. Okay, first I want you to write these down and answer them in the comment section down below, and then I'm gonna go through them, answer them for myself, and go through everything really that I have to share about mostly the biggest lessons that we learned from this year, but also what went well, what didn't, and then what I want to do in 2020, just some things that I have planned, goals, stuff like that. So before I start talking and telling about my 2019 reflection, I want you to pause this video and write down all of these questions and then answer them and post it in the comments below. Okay, now if you're not willing to do that, like, you're just watching this, like, this is very productive and constructive and helpful for the future if you want to achieve the goals that you set. So if you're not going to do this, you just don't care. Like, you just sit and watch a video. There's something that I'll talk about later. People will consume information and knowledge, but they won't use it for anything. That's what you'd be doing. It's fucking pointless. So please answer the questions. And because I know I can learn so much from you guys, and everyone else in the comments can learn so much from each other as well. So the first question that I want to ask is, what was your biggest learning lesson from 2019? Now, let's keep it like career and business related. Of course, this could go into every other area of life, but just gonna keep it business related. Number 2, what was the biggest mistake that you made in your business in 2019? Did 2019 turn out the way that you wanted it to? I think for a lot of people, to be honest, most people, at least from my observation so far, is that most people, their 2019 did not turn out the way that they wanted to. Okay, so if that's you, then this is especially important to make sure that that does not happen again. And 2020 is also not a year that did not turn out the way you wanted to. Because if you're not aware, you're just going to do the same shit again, make all the same mistakes, not learn from them, and 2020 is going to look the exact same way. And that's when you have people stuck on the hamster wheel in like 7 years straight and nothing's really changed. And it's just so common. So question number 4, if 2019 did not turn out the way you wanted to, what blocks did you have in 2019? Like, what are the reasons why that didn't happen? Because I'm sure that you know what they are. You do. It's kind of hard to admit or talk about. You kind of don't really want to face that it's your fault. So by blocks, I'll explain later what I mean, but also basically, like, what are your reasons? What are your excuses for why 2019 did not turn out the way you wanted to? Question number 5, how is 2020 going to be any different? Because it might end up being the exact same way. So you have to be prepared and ready and actually be willing to do it differently. And then question number 6, what are your goals for 2020? Okay, let's go down the comment section, answer these questions, post, then you can watch the rest of the video, and then you can chip in with any other thoughts that you have throughout the video. And it's not gonna take like 30 seconds. This is gonna take some time, so just type out your answers. I'm gonna wait for you to finish that. Okay, now I kind of just threw words. It didn't take me very long to put this together. Well, I didn't spend that much time and energy making it like pretty, and so I just threw the words down on the page, and I'll try and explain the best I can. Okay, so I'll start with the first question. What was my biggest learning lesson or lessons of 2019? Because I have 4 here. Now here's the biggest one. Sorry. Sweet loogie. That's it. Knowledge is the most valuable asset in the world, and it is the most underpriced thing in the world as well, and remain a student forever. So knowledge in the past was a thing, or information, skills, whatever you want to call it. Let's just call it knowledge. Was not a thing that I really pursued much in the past. And I say that it's the most underpriced thing in the world because, with a car, you have a very nice car and it costs $40,000, and we can all agree that it costs $40,000 because there's something to see and touch. It costs something to make, and you can justify it, right? It's very obvious what it costs. But when it comes to knowledge, people do not put the value, like the right valuation on it, because they can't see it, they can't touch it. I want to use an analogy as an example. So you have most likely heard of the quote, give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. Teach a man how to fish, and he will eat for a lifetime. So teaching a man how to fish is giving him the knowledge to fish. The way we price fish, that sounds weird. The price of a fish is $5, and the value of it is also $5. We all agree. Okay. Now, a fishing rod is priced at about $50. The value of a fishing rod is about $1,000. Even if you don't know how to fish, you can still hire someone to fish for you. But if you don't know how to fish, it's not as valuable. And then finally, if you have the skill and knowledge and you know how to fish, that's worth $100,000 at least. Imagine you're fishing for 20 years straight and you catch a fish every day. You can catch thousands of fish, and then that is going to be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now, this is just an analogy for information, knowledge, and learning skills. Even like in the case of money, people want to just be given money. They want to just be given $10 because they just got it and great, thanks. That's like what most people want. In a perfect world, they would just be given money. But of course, that's not possible. Now, you could also give people the tools to help them make money, which would be a fishing rod. And then you could give them the information and the knowledge to actually learn that skill so that they can make more money in the case of a business. So the reason why this is the most underpriced thing is because it's just not valued. People don't value it because it's not easy to justify information because you can't see it. It's just air. But you can learn how to fish if you were to hire a fishing coach, for example, for $1,000. And then use that to catch hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of fish throughout your lifetime. So of all these things, what you would want to pursue is the skill to be able to fish. Let's relate this back to business, publishing, okay? We have a course where we teach how to make money with publishing. Ideally, people would rather just be given money. Here's money. Or they would like someone to maybe publish a book for you. Okay, that can make some money, but you can't repeat that. But if you have the skill and knowledge and ability, oh no, I'm running low on battery. Let me just plug this thing in. Okay, now we're plugged in. What was I saying? If you have the skill and knowledge and ability to publish books and create a publishing business, you can then make as much money as you want. Just continue growing it and doing it. You don't need anyone to give you more money for that. And the reason why this is so great is because it is undervalued. You can learn for $1,000 how to make hundreds of thousands of dollars with a publishing business. And this is what we've learned and discovered in so many other areas. Christian and I now go out and we seek information and knowledge as much as we can, mostly throughout courses. But books are always talked about, like from billionaires, like you gotta read books. That's the secret, is reading books. And I was like, oh, fuck, that's so stupid. Like it's not gonna make me any money directly, which it's not, but in the long run it will. But now I understand. Now I get why they're saying read books. What they're just saying is acquire knowledge. It doesn't have to be in the form of books. I prefer courses. Courses are just books on steroids, really, because a book will, tell you the information, and then now it's all on you to do everything. With a course, they're going to do everything they can to make you actually do the thing, do the information, learn the skill. And then I say remain a student forever. So never think that you know it all. And especially with publishing, we have a publishing course, and we hold 2 coaching calls a month. Almost everyone that shows up is a beginner and not successful with publishing yet. And all of the publishers making $10,000 a month or more, they tend to not attend the coaching calls anymore, which is just sort of a sad thing because they still have so much to learn. And in these coaching calls that we do, I learn so much every time. Everyone does. Don't make that mistake thinking that you know everything about a certain field just because you're the best, and thinking that you can't learn from other people. So always remain a student. And the richest people in the world, all the billionaires, they're the best students in the world. They're the ones always hungry to learn. Now, my second biggest learning lesson. The biggest reason people fail is because they want it, whatever it is, now. People are so goddamn impatient. They'll try and start an online business. They will go at it for 30 days, and they didn't find the results they wanted, and then it doesn't work, or they're going to try something else, and that cycle just repeats itself over and over. The best things in life take time to create, and the people that have the long-term mindset and are willing to sacrifice now for the future, meaning like make decisions not to make money next month or the month after, but to make money years down the line, because those years will come. 2025 is going to come. It's going to be here. When people make decisions based off of that's never going to happen, right? When people take out loans or they max out their credit cards and they just owe so much money with crazy amounts of interest, that's people not giving a fuck about the future and thinking that's never going to come. So I'll deal with it later. I'll deal with it later. And eventually it just stacks up to like a point where you're so fucked financially. And that's just a lot of people. Now, long-term mindset. Christian and I have like the most best long-term mindsets of anyone I know, truthfully, where we don't care about making money this week, this month, the next few months. I'm thinking like just realistically, I'm thinking like a year down the line. I should be thinking further, but I can really only think a year down the line, which makes it very easy to make certain decisions now that are good for the future. Yes. Now, the third lesson that I learned is to constantly up your standards. So kind of a funny story. Christian and I, we created Audiobook Income Academy, publishing course if you don't know, for the first time in September 2018. Like at the time, we created the best course that we could, but it was the first time we'd ever done it, so it sucked. Because the first time you ever do anything, you suck at it. So it was a bad course. Not bad, but compared to today's standards, yes. Then 6 months later, earlier this year, so starting January 2019, we started remaking it again. And that took 5 months. So June 2019, we finished it. That was AAA 2.0. Okay. Then when we had made AAA 2.0, the first version of it, Christian and I, we were like, we just made the perfect publishing course and we don't have to remake it again. That feels good. Now we can just focus on everything else there is. Now we can move on to something else because we made it, we finished, that's it. And then time went on and we enrolled in other courses and saw the high quality of those other courses. And then we both realized like, oh man, these courses here are way better than the thing that we just created that we thought was the final version. So our standards from the first version that we made to the second version that we made to the third version now, which we are 50% done with, we'll complete the rest later, is just massive steps up every time. Now, because I know this, then I know this version, even as epic as I feel like it is now, I'm still going to make it better. So just remember to always up your standards, because if you just stagnate, then you're just going to stagnate in your business and in life. And in the case of publishing books, continually up your standards for what is a high quality book in terms of book cover, formatting, information inside, everything. Constantly, every single book you make should be better and better and better and better. And whatever business you're in, it should just always be better and better and better and better. The fourth biggest lesson I learned, there are no tricks. You can't be unlucky. You just have to be better than your competition. So I think I said this in a previous video. You can be lucky and have success, but if you don't have success, it's not because you're unlucky. You can't be unlucky. That's really all I have to say on that. I got there. Now let's move on to the next question. What were my biggest mistakes of 2019? Please write your answers down below. Okay. My biggest mistake was not focusing on the routine, habits, discipline, and focus sooner. It changed my life when I implemented it in the second half of 2019. I mean that 100% literally. It changed my life. Like I just became a completely different person. So it's not like a regret I have, because like this will just come. Like I fell upon how important this is via just learning how important knowledge is. So I went out and I just discovered how important it is, and it's changed my life ever since. So in AA 2.0, now we made an hour-long lesson talking all about routine, habits, discipline, and focus. And since I've implemented it, like the work that you get done, it's not like 50% more. It's not twice as much productivity that you get in your business, in your life. If I have to put a realistic number on it, I think it's 4 times as much. You get 4 times as much done if you focus on having a good routine, good productivity habits, discipline, and focus while you're working. So you could create a business 4 times faster than I could before I ever implemented either of these things. Now, Christian and I, we're 2 people. If we're 2 people working at 25%, you could have just 1 person and they could work twice as fast as us if they actually implement these things. But it's amazing now that I'm learning from my mistakes of 2019 going forward. This is such a massive focus for me. And now it's exciting to know how much more productive I'm going to be now, knowing I'd already accomplished, solid amount at 25%, now working at 100%, maybe 95% realistically. It's just fucking awesome. Okay, now the next question. Did 2019 look how you wanted it to? So I feel like I could say no, it didn't, and be super hard on myself, but I'm just going to be honest. I don't like to be too hard on myself or anyone. I feel like it often doesn't serve any purpose. Just being completely honest, yes, 2019 did look how I wanted to. The big reason was because I learned so much. I'm not making that much more money than I was a year ago. It's not some crazy increase. Bit more, but for honestly, looking back a year from now, if you told me I'd be making that amount that I am now, I'd be disappointed. I'd be disappointed in myself. But I just learned so much throughout the year, and I have a long-term mindset that I know it's just gonna come. So learned so much. Yeah, the importance of knowledge and learning was the biggest thing that I learned. So yeah, and I'm making slow and steady progress every single day. And I'm loving the journey. I'm just loving doing it. How can I complain? How can I complain? Now, if not, what blocks did you have in 2019? So I still had blocks for myself, even though I did like how 2019 turned out. So I just want to talk about some points that I have here and some bits of advice. Now, let's talk about the pain of doing versus the pain of not doing. Okay, and which one is higher? So what I'm talking about here is really the pain of doing is the pain of doing what you know you have to do, which is whatever. It's hard to talk. I have to talk really vaguely because I don't know what business you're in and what business you have. But the pain of doing whatever it is that you have to do business-wise, and this could be the result or an example. In publishing, a big reason or excuse that people have for not being able to publish or having success with publishing is I don't have any money. I don't have any money, so I can't start publishing because I need to be able to hire writers and everything. And yes, you do need to be able to hire writers. You do need to have money. Okay, you need to have money. End of story. Yes, you can write books yourself, but you need to have money. So in that case, what I always tell people is if you don't have any money, you need to get a motherfucking job. You need to get a job even if you hate it and you don't want to do it. The pain of doing that is very high, which is why people don't do it. They don't take the advice and they don't do the things that they're supposed to do. But when you compare that to the pain of not doing that, meaning if you don't get a job, you don't have money, you continually can't publish, and then you will never be able to create the business that you want. It's going to be publishing or anything, right? Now, the pain of doing is always higher in the present. So if you're a person that has a short-term mindset and doesn't think about the long term, you're never going to do things because you're only thinking of the pain now. But if you're that's what I'm saying. If you're a dumb fuck that doesn't think about your future, that's why you're not doing shit. Because the pain of doing things now is higher than the pain of not doing it. If you, let's you want to start a YouTube channel, because I struggled with this really hard when we first started filming. Like that was like my biggest fear ever. Starting a YouTube channel. If you also have a fear of filming videos, the pain of doing that now is very fucking high. It's very high. The pain of not doing it is just like, I know I should be doing it, but like it's fine. The pain of doing it is much higher, but people don't think long term. They don't think down the line. So they just continually don't do what they're supposed to do. And then when the future comes, they're stuck in the same fucking place. Now I just want to mention some of the blocks that I had in 2019. I don't know how, directly related it is to you, but here I am just telling my answers to the questions. First one is hiring. The biggest thing that me and Christian are procrastinating on is hiring people in our course business. Just giving away the control and, not being able to do everything ourselves, which we want to do, but it's just literally impossible if we want to actually grow. So really procrastinating with that and just putting it off. And it's really bad for us. But now I know. Made that mistake in 2019. It will now be a priority in 2020. Another one is learning phone/spoken sales and being comfortable with it. I hate to sell. So I really learned this while we were filming a webinar for our course a few weeks ago, where we had to film it. And then, you came to sales pitch where you have to sell and tell everyone why they should buy and everything. I was like, I just fucking hate, I suck at it because I hate it. And I don't know why. For one, it's because I've never done it before. I've never sold anything in speech, either on the phone or on a video, and which is why I was so bad at it. It was really hard for me. And I keep avoiding it. But I know that that's a skill that I have to develop if I want to achieve the goals that I have. So that will be a focus for me in 2020. I have to do that. And yeah, like I said, I just wrote things down here. So I'll block. I want to be more direct. I'm too nice. I need to have more balls sometimes. Christian is better at this than me, where if we're, let's say, in a conflict with someone else, he'll kind of just say what it is. And then and I try and be nice about it. And then sometimes I'll do things that I don't actually want to do. And it's stupid. I hate how I do that. So that's sort of a block for me in 2019. Okay. Remember, write your answers in the comments below. Now, how will 2020 be different? Okay. How is 2020 going to be any different for you? And I'll tell for me. And really the way that you're going to figure this out is really look at your mistakes and what you fucked up in 2019 and then do the opposite of that. It's pretty obvious and clear. Just everything that was holding you back, just flip it. But that's much easier said than done. So we'll get into that. Now for myself, I will turn my routine and habits into my identity/instincts. So I talked a bit about what my mistakes were. It was not focusing on this sooner. So what's the opposite of that? It is focusing on it now. Now, if I do that, time just needs to run its course. I really believe that. Just need to perfect the fucking basics and the rest will follow. We talked a bit about routine and habits. Haven't talked about it enough, I think, compared to how important it is. We do have an hour-long lesson about it in our course. But if you just do the most, like the Pareto principle, the 80-20 rule, if you do the 80% and just focus on the 80% so much all the time will run its course and what you want to happen will happen. And you might be surprised what those basics are, particularly in terms of productivity. So what are the basics? This is like as dumbed down as it gets. This is like the core of it. That is to having a consistently excellent wake-up time, bedtime, and work hours with 0 distractions while working. So what this means is that every single day, waking up at the same time, going to bed at the same time, and work hours. So I'm consistently having 8 strong work hours every day with 0 distractions in that time. Because in that time, I know what I have to do. Now, some people might struggle with, they don't know what they have to do. And I'll talk a bit about that later. But once you know what you have to do, then you just have to fucking do it. The problem for most people is they don't have enough time, which is a big problem. But if you actually focus on your routine and habits, that's just an excuse once again. There is always enough time if you manage it correctly. So excellent wake up time, bedtime, and work hours. So I actually have created a Google Sheets document that I will be following for starting in 2020. And this is to keep myself accountable to make sure that my routine and habits is on point. So I can show you what that looks like. I've never used it before. This is me trying it out for the first time, and I'm gonna refine it as time goes on, and then I'll share more about it. But this is really just what I came up with. So the way I'm gonna do it is every single day. So this will be the first of the month, January, February. We'll create one for every single month. The way I'm gonna do it is the day after. So on January 2nd, we'll fill out January 1st, and I'll give it either green for success or red for failure. And I'll go through all of these categories Did I wake up at 5:30? Yes. Success. Did I follow my gym schedule? Yes. Success. Green. No phone before noon. It's a big priority for me. Did I not go on my phone? This goes into the distractions part because the phone's a big distraction in the world. Did I not go on my phone before noon? Yes. Boom. Good. Success. Green. This is unrelated to work, but no eating unnecessary sugar. This is very important to me because I eat too much sugar and it's just a big problem and I really need to cut down. So it's so important that I'm going to be tracking it every single day, making sure that I don't do that, because treating your body the right way is also part of increasing productivity and just being the best version of yourself, so to speak. Next one, lock away phone before 9 p.m. Now this means I'm on my phone less, not wasting time with whatever when I should be relaxing, and it means I'll be able to fall asleep easier. It also means that the next day when I wake up, my phone won't be there because it's going to be locked away. So this has a few very good purposes. The last one, 0 distractions from primary tasks. So this is while I'm working, am I actually on task doing what I'm supposed to be doing? Now I'm still trying to figure out the best way to really categorize it or track it. I have downloaded another app called Focus, which was recommended to me. I haven't used it yet, but I will be implementing that. And then 1 hour of Dutch learning. So I want to learn a new language. I'll get into that later. So I have to do that every single day. So what I'm going to do is every single day track this. Green if I did it, red if I didn't. And the goal is to have nothing but fucking green throughout this entire thing. If there's any red, I need to figure out why. And if there's more red in a row, there's a problem. Something's happening, okay? And you're going to be aware of it instantly. You're going to know exactly where it is that you're fucking up. So the goal is to have everything green. Now you could come up with a massive list of things. This is also just not refined at all. I just kind of put it together pretty quickly. I still need to figure out exactly what the routine part, the habits and the actions that are most important to me. But I'm really excited to use this. And the first thing in the morning is I'm going to fill this out for the previous day. And you just want nothing but green on that thing. And if I know that if I go through a whole year, and every single month is completely green, one, I will learn a new language, okay? Or get very close to it. Maybe it'll take 2 years. And I'm going to get in amazing fucking shape because I follow my gym schedule every single day. I'm going to be incredible. I'm going to have incredible health because I'm not eating too much sugar like I have been doing my whole life. And I'm going to be so productive and get so much work done. And I know I'm going to achieve my business goals. So if I just do these things, that's it. So that's what my focus is for 2020. Let's see, what more do we got on this slide? Well, the basic, yeah, I covered everything. So I'm going to be focusing on doing the things that you saw in that spreadsheet. So what are my goals for 2020? So on the business side of things, I want to create training. This is our course. Create training that is 100 times better than the second best and produce over 300 success stories. I think most people in terms of goals, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but most people in terms of goals, they will set financial goals. Like I said, it's not a bad thing, but if you're focusing too much on making money, even just later this year, you are not going to be making the best decisions for you and your business and your future. If you focus on things like this, if this is my goal and what I'm prioritizing, what I'm making will just, it won't be as high this year as what it would be if I focus on making money. But in the long term, it will be way better. And I just know that the actions I'm going to be taking, they contribute to this. They don't contribute to me making more money. But in the process, I will. So I would suggest making goals based off of like things achieved instead of money made. Epic dad life. So right now I'm in the process of editing the video, and I noticed that when I came to talking about the fact that I'm going to be having a kid in about 6 months now, and I'm going to be the dad for the first time, the way I talked about it was just weird and awkward. It's kind of like I didn't care, and I don't want people to think that. That's not what I want to give off. I just want people to know that like it's the most exciting thing that has ever happened to me, and I'm the happiest person in the world because of it. And it's just amazing. The way I said it before was just like I didn't care. I don't want people to think that. So that's just why I'm recording this video. So yeah, a massive goal for me in 2020 is just to start that journey and just have it be fucking awesome and exciting, and I can't wait for it. So just wanted to clear that up. All right, back to the video. Next, I want to learn a language, and the language that I want to learn is Dutch. And the reason why is because my girlfriend, she's not Dutch, but she speaks Dutch, and that's where we're going to be living when the baby's born. So when I'm living in the country, I want to learn the language. Like, I don't need to because they speak English very well in the Netherlands, but holy shit, if I can learn a language in a year, it doesn't have to take a year. If I can just learn a language in a few years, I'm going to be so proud of that, and it's just an amazing thing. And just to prove to myself that anything that people say is hard and you can't do, if you just do what you have to do to learn it, which is practicing 1 hour of Dutch every single day, then you can do it. So you don't have an excuse or reason for why you didn't learn a language, you didn't this and that. Now, yeah, we'll see how hard this is, but I'm gonna try my best, and it's definitely a huge goal for me. And if I can accomplish that, holy shit, I'll be very proud of myself. Now, my advice to you for 2020. So this comes as a part of just things that I've learned recently. If you want different results in your life, you have to do new, different, hard as fuck things. Okay? Now, this is why we're doing this, so you don't do the same easy things that you were doing last year, because clearly they didn't work if you're not happy with how the year turned out. So new, different, and hard as fuck things. And if you're having blocks, it's probably because you're trying to do something you've never done before. And this is, I really want to, I hope I can articulate this well, because there was a Sam Ovens video that I watched, and he just said it so perfectly. I was like, wow, this is incredible. Now, whenever you're starting to do anything new for the first time that you've never done before, it's incredibly hard. And people always, happens most of the time for people, they give it a go, it's very hard, and they suck at it, and then they stop, thinking that I'm not good at this, I'm not made for this, I don't have a natural talent for it, why am I doing this? This should be easy, for everyone else it's easy. That is not the case at all. For anyone that's doing something new that they've never done before, it's going to suck while doing it, and you're going to suck at it. You're going to be bad, and it's going to be painful and hard to do. And I think the best example I can use is when we first started filming YouTube videos. I was just so bad at it, and it was so painful, but you just fucking did it. You just did it. I think if I was alone, I would have quit. I would have stopped. But since I had my twin brother and we did it together, we didn't, and that changed my life. Was not stopping. Now, just to explain how hard things are when you do something new for the first time, and just know it's completely normal. So when it gets hard, just remember what I'm saying now, that, okay, this is normal. When you're doing something new for the first time and it's really hard, you're getting frustrated, it's going to sound kind of weird. If you're a girl, you're probably going to cry. It's that hard. Girls have more hormones, they're easier to cry. If you're a guy, you either feel like you want to cry but didn't, or you cry too. That's how stressful it is to do these hard new things that will actually change your life. Now, I can speak for myself. When we first started making YouTube videos, I had moments where I cried just out of frustration. I was just like, oh my God, I'm so bad. This is never going to work. I suck so much at this. Why am I doing this? Like, why? This is so stupid. And just literally crying because it was so hard. And that's normal. So for anyone that has successfully gotten over the hump of that really hard thing to do that has changed their life, if they're a woman, they definitely cried throughout the process. If they're a guy, they might have, but they definitely felt like it. They definitely had moments where like, fuck, I can't do this. Just so you can understand what it really feels like. Like, it's so hard and stressful to do something new, and you're gonna suck at it. So when you're in that place, don't stop. You're gonna reach that moment, feel that resistance, and that's when 99% of people stop, and why 99% of people never achieve the things that they want. But the people that keep going, no matter how hard and how bad they are at it, they keep doing it, and those are the ones that will eventually find success. Every single time. If you actually just keep pushing, everyone will eventually find that success. Because in the end, really it just comes down to, comes with learning anything or succeeding at anything. You try something, you fail at it. People do that. People always try at least once, and then they fail. Happens 100% of people. The next step is to learn from it, learn from the failure. Some people fuck up here. And the last one is repeating it and just going back to trying. Okay. People will try, fail. They oftentimes won't learn from it, and they'll try again, and then they will repeat, but they didn't learn from it, so they keep making the same mistakes, or they will not try again because it was so hard. But if you consistently try, fail, learn from the failures, and then repeat that process over and over, that's just you refining whatever it is you're doing over and over, and then eventually you will find the success you're looking for every single time. Okay. And when you reach that like moment of highest stress or fear, or you could also call it that, you have to look fear in the eyes and just do it. You have to think of the pain of doing versus the pain of not doing. That's when pain of doing is so incredibly high, where the only thing you want to do is not do it. And the pain of not doing is not that high, but if you actually think about your future, the pain of doing is much higher. The pain of not doing is much higher than the pain of doing, because the pain of doing lasts such a short period of time. Not doing it, you're just gonna have regret for years. And can you imagine that? Can you imagine, like, just as you're about to die, you think back, like, all the things that you should have done. Just, wow, why didn't I do it? I just have a life and I'm living, and I didn't, like, for what? It's just crazy. So the pain of not doing, none of us can actually truly feel until they're about to die, basically. And then I can imagine it's the most painful thing in the world when you look back and look at all the things that you should have done, but you didn't because you were too scared of it. And then you have to look fear in the eyes and just do it. This is the one thing that there's no YouTube tutorial about it. There's no course about it. There's no self-help video or Tony Robbins seminar that can tell you how to do this. There comes a moment where there's nothing that can help other than you just doing it. That's the secret. That's not the secret, but there comes a moment where, how'd you do it? You just did the really hard thing, and everyone has to go through it. Everyone has to. And if you're avoiding it, then you're not going to achieve the results that you want. And it happens all the time for people, happens all the time for me. Like the phone sales thing, learning hiring, I feel fear and then I don't do it. The only thing I have to do is just do it. Last thing here. So my final piece of advice before we end this video, and please in the comments write your comment answering all these questions and just any insight that you can give from the year of 2019 and any advice for 2020 as well, just going off of the things that you learned in the past year. So the final thing that I want to say is that, a lot of people struggle with not figuring out what to do. Like, they'll do it, but I don't know what to do. So I'm not in that position, but a lot of people are. So if that's you, you have to figure out the activities that need to be a part of your identity slash instincts to achieve your goals. So what on here do you need to do every single day to achieve the goals that you have? Now, like I said, people don't really know what they are, and I can't tell you what they are unless I know what business you're in, because it really depends on the business. Now, I want to give an example from a Sam Ovens video. I'll explain the way he said it, because I thought it was like an aha moment for me. And that is that in consulting, building a consulting business, he has thousands of students. He has like 25 students that have made over $1 million, and he has 2 that have made over $10 million. And he tried to figure out, what is it that these people are doing that all the unsuccessful students are not doing? There's something there. There's something that there's literally an action. It's not a mindset or a character trait. It's a thing that they're doing, so that when I find out that thing, I can just tell people to do that thing. Now, of course, that thing's not going to be easy, but so he surveyed everyone, and he figured out there was one thing that correlated so highly and so well with success or income with your consulting business. And that one action that the 7-figure and 8-figure consulting business owners were doing that others were not, or were doing more than anyone else, it was sales calls. So what Sam Ovens found from his survey, however he found the results, was that for all of his 25 students that had made $1 million or more, every 25 out of 25, 100% of them had done at least 1,000 sales calls. That's so many. That's a sales call every single day for 3 years. All 25 of them had done that. And the ones that had made, the 2 people that had made $10 million in their consulting business, they had both done over 5,000 sales calls. And then you have other students from his program that are not having success and they're not knowing why, and he's trying to figure it out. And turns out they've done 2 sales calls and they have no clients. So they've done 20 sales calls and they have no clients. So they've done 200 sales calls and they only have 3 clients. Like, dude, you have not done enough sales calls to reach the $1 million, the 7-figure results that they have. Do what they've done, 1,000 sales calls, and you will have maybe not after 1,000, but eventually if you keep doing it, you will have the success that you're looking for. Because for one, sales calls are just the most how you get clients, but also it's such a valuable skill that in the beginning you suck at, and at the end you over 1,000 calls, you will it's impossible to not get really good at it. And when you have that skill, it's no coincidence that you're having a lot of success. So it's 1, because you now have the skill to be good at sales calls, and 2, just off of sheer volume of attempts that you've tried to get clients. Now, I hope that makes sense. So I want to figure out for myself in publishing, what is that activity that the most successful publishers are doing that the unsuccessful ones are not. So I don't have the answer right now, but I have created a survey that I'm going to be sending to all the publishers that I know that have made at least $10,000 in 1 month. So I put together like 12 or 13 questions, and I'm going to be sending them, going to get the answers, and then we'll see where is the correlation. Like, of the 20 people that I know, most of our students that are making $10,000 a month or have made $10,000 a month from the publishing business, what's the thing that, like, across the board they all are doing or have done, or what do they have in common? So you can figure out what is the thing that you have to focus on doing in publishing. My guess is the highest correlating factor between income and publishing. I think that thing is just number of books published. If you ask a 10K a month publisher how many books they have published, it's not 3. They have not published just 6 books. Some have. We do have a student who made $15,000 from just 7 books. He could be an outlier and all, but it's also just a prediction. That's why oftentimes, you'll have people come to us, or just in general, say, I'm only making $300 a month from my publishing business. Okay, how many books do you have published? 2? What the fuck? What do you expect? So in that case, if that's the case, if books published is the most important factor in terms of having a successful publishing business, what you would want to do here is do activities every single day that contribute to getting books published. Now, your first book might suck, your second, third, fourth, they might suck, but just as you do it more, you get better and you learn. So just through the volume of publishing more books will give you the likelihood to make more money, but 2, the skill that you develop through the process of publishing a bunch of books means that eventually you're going to be publishing great books. Like, it's just not that complicated. You just have to do the things. So if publishing books is the thing, specifically, you would want to write down the tasks that go into publishing books, like writing outlines, hiring writers, or writing stuff if you do that, hiring writers, getting covers made, hiring narrators, proofreading, editing, actually publishing the book, like actually clicking publish and having to go on Amazon Audible, things like that. So those activities that you want to do every single day, if you do it for a whole year, success is inevitable. But the thing is, people are not doing the thing. So if you're not doing the thing, whatever the thing is, depending on what business you're in, let me know why. Like, what's the reason and what's the excuse? Why are you different, and why can you not have success with it like everyone else can? People will oftentimes have a reason why they can't, but everyone else can. So I'm curious what that is. Like I said, do those activities every fucking day. Every single day. This needs to be all green. Every single one of these. And then we got to go January, February, March. They all need to be green. You should do it every single day. And if you want to start a YouTube channel, you know what that is? That's filming a video every single day. If you want to have a successful YouTube channel, right here you're going to film a YouTube video, or just a video, or film something, at least some sort of filming, and do it every single day. You don't have to film a complete YouTube video, but just film every single day to gain comfort. For one, you'll have more videos made, which the more videos you have, the higher likelihood you have of having a successful YouTube channel that people watch, and then you'll just develop the skill and get better at it. Okay. Now, do the thing or the things every fucking day, and do the hardest things first in the morning, because when you wake up, the last thing you're going to want to do is the hardest thing, which means you're going to keep procrastinating and you're probably not actually going to do it. So as soon as you wake up, you just have to do the thing. And that comes back to this, is look fear in the eyes and just do it. If you won't do that or can't do that, then you don't deserve the results or success that you want, because everyone goes through that. You're not the only one. Okay. That is my reflection on 2019 in terms of mistakes I made, things I learned, and some goals that I have for 2020. If you watch this video to the end, remember to write your comments down below. If you watch this video to the end, please drop the magic emoji of the video. There's a robot flex emoji. Drop the robot flex emoji if you watch this video to the end. Okay. Now, I think I've said everything that I want to say. I had a few speaker notes that maybe. Yeah, one thing. We did this reflection this year. I'm going to do it the next year after in 2021. And I'm going to learn from everything I did this year and just, do more of the things that are working and less of the things that are not. And just continue that and refine it every single year. And then you have the year 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024. Going to do it again in 2025, 2026, 2027, 2028. Going to keep doing it every single year, learning from my mistakes, getting better. 2030, 2031, 2032, there's so much time left. There's so many years. And yes, I'm thinking 10 years down the line, what results am I having? Not 5 months, 3 months, 2 weeks down the line, like some people. So have a long-term mindset, okay? And yeah, I think that's all for this video. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.